It appears that the NBA is now doing China's bidding when it comes to censorship. Now, news story is out. According to Sports Illustrated, fans attending a Philadelphia 76ers preseason match were ejected after holding up signs in support of the Hong Kong protests. Well, then, now, this is Sam Wax and his wife reportedly had their signs confiscated at a Wells Fargo center in Philadelphia. They then began to voice their support for protests in Hong Kong and were subsequently ejected from the arena. Now, Wax, after being ejected, told ABC6, look, we didn't do anything wrong. We didn't do any foul language. We didn't use any foul language. We didn't really talk about politics. All we did was just hold up our sign that said that we support the Hong Kong protesters. And he said of being ejected, quote, I think it's a shameful, harsh reaction. Well, I couldn't agree more. Look, I also think that it's pretty consistent with large corporations that have money tied up in China, and they want to keep making that money. Look, China. So now China's a authoritarian communist regime, and they're not exactly fans of free speech, but they do have a lot of investment money, and they also have a lot of power. And so, they basically will do whatever they want. Oh, if they don't like the message, they will ban you completely, ban your company, ban everything. Again, this is state-run, controlled economy, and they say, you know what we're going to do? Anything that counteracts us and our message and undercuts us politically, we're just going to remove from the air. And what are you going to do about it? You're going to lose out on your money. That's what you're going to do. So now, let me get to an example of that, right? So now there was a now deleted tweet by Houston Rockets general manager Daryl Morey that simply read, fight for freedom, stand with Hong Kong. Again, great message. I agree with that 100%. China didn't like that, so they decided to cancel the broadcasts of NBA exhibition games. Now, the NBA is really popular in China. And so you cancel that, you lose out on a lot of potential revenue. So what does the NBA do? Well, I guess we don't want to do that. We don't want to lose money. So we're just going to acquiesce to the demands of the Chinese government. They are censoring its fans on behalf of China. And it's because they have a $4 billion business arrangement with the Chinese government. Now, look, it always irritates me, right, when they say that these corporations, they're American corporations, and they deeply believe in American values. They will do right by America. Really? Is that what? How naive do you have to be to believe that? You have to be at this point. Corporations are not American. Corporations have no allegiance to anyone. Their whole purpose is to create value for their shareholders and return for investors. That's what these companies are there for. If it means cutting free speech in America on behalf of a totalitarian communist regime, well, then so be it. Sort of ironic, too, how now American capitalism is defending communist China. Never thought I'd see that one coming. And look, the NBA isn't the only company that's been doing this, right? A few days ago, I did a story about Blizzard Entertainment, who was facing calls for a boycott for suspending and taking the winnings away from a Hearthstone champion known as Blitzchung. Now, Blitzchung is a grandmaster and won a championship for Hearthstone, and he's a Hong Kong native, and he won this money, and he basically gave out a message of solidarity to the Hong Kong protesters, which immediately made Blizzard not only take away the prize money, but suspend him for an entire year from their esports platform, and also they took down all the live streams of that. They did that all on behalf of the Chinese government, because again, China is a gigantic market. Not only that, but Tencent, it's a Chinese company, owns about 5% stock in Blizzard. So there's a definite financial pressure and incentive for Blizzard, just like the NBA, to continue to be an arm of Chinese censorship. Hey guys, hopefully you enjoyed that free video. Now I'm going to have to ask you a favor. Between the demonetization and the YouTube algorithm messing around with view counts, etc., we're having a hard time adjusting to the new YouTube reality, which is where you guys come in. See, we have a Patreon, patreon.com/TYTNation, set up to help us rely on you guys, the viewers, instead of big corporate ads. Look, you know the show. You know I'm not in favor of big corporations anyway. So help us transition away from relying on the ad model to pay the bills and sign up to be a patron, patreon.com/TYTNation. That goes a long way to help us keep the lights on. And you guys will know that you're supporting independent, progressive media.